Hi everyone, I'm Suzy and welcome to this adulting thing. If you've not watched my channel before, it's essentially me sitting in a pink elephant hoodie, putting the world to rights about all things adulting. Although with summer on the way, I might really have to rethink this outfit choice. Right, today I want to talk about changing relationships with your parents as you get older. This is something that's always been quite fascinating to me because I can really see the transition of the relationship that I've had with my mum from being younger to being more of an adult. Me and my mum have always been really, really close. We were a single parent household, so it was always just me and her. I'm an only child, don't have any brothers and sisters. Generally, I'll say I was a pretty well-behaved child. Yes, I was naughty here and there, and I think my main problem as a kid is I was very, very, very independent. I was very set on doing things my way. But me and my mum rubbed along really well together, and I had a really, really happy childhood and a really happy sort of adolescence living at home as well. When you're younger though, I think you very much view your parent as a parent. You don't really view them as having had a life before you. As far as you're concerned, when you were born, your parents kind of just popped out of nowhere and they started living their life, and anything that happened before was inconsequential because you are their life. You see them probably more as a figure of authority. You see them as someone really strong and together. It never once occurred to me when I was younger that my mum would stress about things or wouldn't be able to handle things or couldn't control things because she was my mum. Like, she has all of that together. It's me who doesn't have that stuff together. You also really think that your parents will be around forever. When you're younger, you can't imagine a time they won't be here. And even as you get older, it's not really something you want to think about. No one wants to think about losing the parents, but it becomes more of a reality, I suppose. As you get older, you realise that there will be a time when they're not here. Whereas when you were younger, you did think that they were literally invincible. And although it's not a nice thought to think that your parents won't be here one day, for me personally, it does really make you put a lot more value onto the relationship that you have with them. But I think that's something that comes with being an adult. When you're young, you don't really think so much about investing time in relationships and people. And that's not to say that obviously you don't love people, you don't have friends and family that you're close to, but the way that you think about them really does change the older that you get. When I was 17, my mum got diagnosed with breast cancer, and luckily she made a full recovery and she's fine now and it's great. But at that point, that was quite a turning point for me because that was when I realised that she actually wasn't invincible. The reality of potentially losing her was very, very clear at that point, and it hadn't ever really been anything I'd thought about before. Because when you're younger, you just get on. You go to school, you come back, you do your homework, you watch TV, you argue with your parents about weird things like having your music on too loud or not tidying up after you've raided the kitchen for snacks. But yeah, for me, all that kind of changed when there was a possibility that she wouldn't be here. And I always valued her. As I said, we were very, very close when I was growing up. So I did always have that close relationship with her. But as I got older, I kind of realised just how precious time is with your parents. When I was a teenager, it was always a case of like, oh, whatever. Like, I know best. Like, oh, stop nagging us. Stop doing this, stop doing that. And then when you look back at it as an adult, you realise that ultimately everything that your parents did, anything that they tried to tell you was only for your own benefit. They weren't trying to kill your vibe or ruin your life, which is usually what I thought it was. It was actually them just trying to help you and to love you and to support you. I know not everyone's as lucky. Not everyone maybe has parents who are still alive, or maybe they don't have a close relationship with the parents. And that again just makes me so grateful for the relationship that I have with my mum. Because through everything, through school and college and quitting my job and having my own business, like, she has been the rock that has always supported me through everything. And I like to think now I'm older, I can kind of be that person for her as well. Like, I can support her and I can be someone that she can talk to, because when you're a kid, it's very much one-sided. You go to your parents with your problems and expect them to help you and expect them to somehow magically fix them. But when you're younger, your parents never come to you and ask for your help, or if they do, it's pretty rare. Normally they will just handle and deal with everything, and you're happy for them to do that. But as you get older and that dynamic changes and you do become someone your parents can rely on, that's when your relationship with them changes. As I've got older, I've seen a different side to my mum. I've learned more about her, I've seen more of her vulnerable side, I've learned about things that she struggles with and worries that she has, and it kind of makes her more human. Not that she wasn't always human, but it was different. It was like she was untouchable, nothing affected her. Whereas now I can kind of see the struggles that she has had. Like, when she was diagnosed with cancer, like, that must have been absolutely terrifying for anyone who's diagnosed with cancer. It must be the most awful experience. But when you have a teenage daughter as well, and you're trying to stay positive and put a brave face on things, it must have been exceptionally hard. And I think experiences like that help you see your parents in a different light. You can see just how strong they are, how resilient they are, and how much they put into you and how much love they have for you. I am literally so grateful for the relationship I have with my mom. Like, we will voice note each other multiple times a day. We'll send like 20-30 minute voice notes. We'll have a call every week. And I love that close relationship. And it makes me appreciate it a lot more now that I'm older. Because when you're like a teenager, your parents are just sometimes annoying, frankly. But now I never see her as annoying. She is like my best friend. And it's kind of having that adult support network as well. It's completely different to the network that you have when you're younger. But like any relationship, your relationships with your parents take work. You need to invest time and you need to spend time together. And I live further away from home, honestly, than I would like. And my goal is to move further up north, closer to my mum again in the coming years. But making the time to go and visit or FaceTime or chat on the phone, it makes such a difference. And I think the way that your relationship changes with your parents as you're an adult is so much better. I feel like the relationship me and my mum have now is so much better. And it's not that we had a bad relationship before, but it was just different. It was more parent-child, whereas now I feel like we're more on a level. It sounds really cliche, but at the end of the day, it's the relationships that you have with the most important people in your life. Even if it's not your parents, even if it's friends or partners or whatever, the relationship that you have with them is the most important thing above anything else. All those little things, the little niggles of day-to-day life that you complain about, or like money or career success, all of that is completely irrelevant compared to those close relationships, in my opinion. So for me, I'm always very, very grateful for people. Like, every single day I am grateful for the people that I have in my life, because they are what make it all worthwhile. They are what really bring that kind of wholesome feeling to my existence, I suppose. Even though that sounds really cringe, that is literally what it feels like. So yeah, I'd love to know how your relationships have changed with your parents as you've got older, and whether you feel that dynamic has actually brought you closer. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. As always, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch up with you really soon.